Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. My email is still in the description below. Reach out to tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing of this Girard-Perregaux Laureato Absolute TI-230. Again, reach out to me. I am tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. I've given up the game. We're talking about the Girard-Perregaux Laureato Absolute TI-230. Now, this is a watch that was created to celebrate 230 years of Girard-Perregaux and 230 years elapsed since the discovery in 1791 of titanium. So the watch is made in 230 pieces, and it has a brother watch, another 230-piece limited edition with a gray dial. So this one has a blue dial. Two editions of 230 pieces. Now, this watch came out in late 2021 for the 2022 model year. In grade 5 titanium, the watch is 44 millimeters in diameter by 14.9 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 53.3 millimeters, and very light. Easy to wear on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. If I had to guess, I would have guessed this was a 42 millimeter watch, not a 44. And you can see it does work quite nicely, especially since the downward angle of the lugs means it sits very securely on the wrist. So I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference and up from there. Again, my wrist is 16. It's not particularly thick for an aggressive sports watch, and it does have a bit of a tiered or stepped case flank, so it should slide underneath most shirt sleeves and all jacket cuffs. The strap is a fascinating thing. It has a textile motif on the top and then a contrasting stitch, but there's nothing to be bound together. The stitch is there and the textile pattern just for aesthetics. Now, they call this FKP rubber, which is said to be both more durable and more supple. So sometimes durability means stiffness, and sometimes souplesse means vulnerability to advanced wear. This watch supposedly has the best of both, and there's more. It is said to be infused with titanium, and I'm going to get as close as I can here. You tell me whether you can perceive the titanium infusion. I cannot, but I'm going to take their word that it's there. You can see there are chevrons on the bottom to remove material and allow the wrist to breathe. We have a matching titanium buckle, faceted with both polish and media blast. It is grade 5 titanium, just like the case. You might ask, what's the difference between grade 5 and grade 2? Well, they're both lighter than steel. They're both hypoallergenic, but grade 5 is more scratch resistant than both grade 2 and conventional 316 steel. Press the two triggers. The single fold deployant clasp opens up. Now you tuck the strap in, and there's a little double prong that anchors it in place, and so once closed, this is a very clean aesthetic. The excess length hides underneath the clasp as well as underneath the strap, so there's no need for minder loops. There's also a very clever little refinement here. You can see a bit of detail of the micro adjust mechanism that allows you to fine-tune the position of that double prong, so you can move it in and out to fine-tune the fit in case you are in between perforations size-wise on the strap. It's a very clever and useful system. Jumping back to the case, you can see that the strap integrates into the flow of the lugs, both the taper of the case and the thinning out of the case band, and that's because the idea was to preserve the integration of the original Laureato, which launched back in 1975 as one of the original integrated bracelet sports watches. Well, we have that same look of integration with this vulcanized rubber strap, so nothing is given up aesthetically. The case features a combination of media blast and polish, which is a nice, refreshing, and unusual combination. You can see the same rendered on the crown, polished and media blasted. There is a rubber shoulder around the crown in FKP rubber. It is a screw-down crown, and once screwed down, the watch has 300-meter water resistance, and I applaud Girard-Perregaux for making a better effort at converting 300 meters than most brands, which will simply list 1,000 feet and 300 meters, which is not even close. This is a lot better. Now you can see the shape of the crown is also the shape of the bezel, one of two fundamental iconic forms in Girard-Perregaux's design catalog. You can see the faceting of the bezel with polish and media blast, quite intricate. And then on the dial, you can see that other iconic form, the bridge of the tourbillon with 3 golden bridges. That is the symbol of the brand. And if you look at the shape of the indices, the hands, as well as the counterweight to the seconds hand, you can see echoes of that bridge design in all of them. The dial features a rehaut, or a flange, that visually unifies the bezel with the dial. The dial base is a fumé fade, so light blue at the center, dark at the edge, fumé or smoked. You can see that the hands are micro-detailed with a combination of mirror-polished outer facets and then satin centers for better contrast. The indices are actually sunken mirror-polished metal, so you can see the dial has excellent depth, and then there's a luminescent material outboard of them. We'll do a quick loom shot here. You can see there's no shortage. Now, this is a Laureato Absolute. So the Laureato Absolute is to the Laureato what the Royal Oak Offshore is to the Royal Oak. More rugged, larger, more aggressive, more durable, more water resistance. You can see that we have a number of expected setting functions. We have stop seconds, so you can set the watch precisely to the second against a reference time. There's also a quick set date mechanism that, in unconventional fashion, is super high geared. It turns very quickly. So a very responsive quick set. Taking a look at the case back, there's the symbol of the Laureato Absolute. You can see this is a limited edition of 230. Combination of media blast and polish on this case back, and inside Girard-Perregaux manufactured caliber 3300. Automatic winding with efficient unidirectional winding action. It has a 46-hour power reserve, quick set date, stop seconds, 27 pivot joules, and it beats away at 4 hertz or 8 beats per second, which is considered to be an industry standard high beat rate. So if you love this watch, email me. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.